Here we go. We're going to do some rapid fire news now, see what everyone's saying around the world a little bit.
The Prime Minister is considering attending next week's NATO summit. Live to political reporter Ruben Spargo in Canberra now. Good morning to you, Ruben. Anthony Albanese is attempting to hold a face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump, but the question is, will Donald Trump go to NATO?
That is the question, Kenny. Good morning to you. In the next couple of days, Anthony Albanese must decide whether he flies to The Hague to attend the NATO summit. Richard Marles, the Deputy Prime Minister, was set to join that meeting. Then a scheduled sideline chat between Anthony Albanese and Donald Trump fell through when Mr. Trump left the G7 summit early. Donald Trump is still planning to attend the NATO summit in the Netherlands next week. This is despite the developing situation in the Middle East.
Yeah,
of course, we've learned that the president will decide within the next 2 weeks whether he strikes Iran. Getting Australians out of the region is the focus for our government here. We can show you 1,500 Australians in Iran and 1,200 Australians in Israel have registered with the Department for Assistance evacuating. The government does expect this number to increase. The airspace remains closed. A small group of Australians, as we've heard, have been moved from Israel across a land border. The Foreign Minister told reporters the department was currently working to assist more people. Kenny.
Ruben Spargo, thank you.
Well, there you have it. You have Australians in those regions. What do we got here? We'll watch that one later.
And this morning, again, Israel vowing vengeance after an Iranian missile strike hit several residential areas and a major hospital overnight.
Yeah, this
we want
was
to get right to
earlier
Angela
today.
Brown at the live desk with the breaking details. And Angela, that hospital was in Beersheba in southern Israel. What do we know at this hour?
You know, I'm reading through some of the reports coming in, and you have the Times of Israel now saying there are some serious injuries, and you can see why when you look at this video right here. The latest images are rolling in now from Soroka Medical Center after what officials are calling a direct hit from an Iranian missile. No exact number, though, right now on the injuries or if anyone died in this attack, but we are hearing and you are seeing the extensive damage. New details on that we're going to have for you throughout the morning. In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responding to the attack on X, posting in part right here. Listen to this. This morning, Iran's terrorist tyrants launched missiles at Soroka Hospital in Beersheba. We will exact the full price from the tyrants in Tehran. That's what he's saying. And turning now to Washington, D.C., where right now the Wall Street Journal is reporting President Trump has approved attack plans on Iran. However, they say he's holding back the final order to carry it out in the hopes that Iran will agree to U.S. demands to abandon its nuclear programs. And we just learned, really in the last 30 minutes, that Iran's foreign minister will meet with European powers for talks Friday in Geneva. Again, that is brand new this morning, just coming in. Now, yesterday, President Trump reiterated Iran cannot be allowed to get a nuclear weapon.
Very simply, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's it. It's not a question of anything else. And if you did, you wouldn't have much of a country because they would use it on us and they'd use it on other people and there'd be a terror all over the world.
And a live look for you right here at the Western Wall in Jerusalem. Obviously, this area on high alert this morning. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, Israel is running low on defense aerial interceptors, raising concerns about the country's ability to counter Iran's long-range missiles if things aren't resolved very soon. The president, of course, getting ready to hold what we're hearing is a high-stakes security meeting that's going to happen in the Situation Room. It's going to happen around 11:30 this morning. Updates as they come in this morning on the live desk, of course, right here and online anytime at thenationaldesk.com.
Angela, thank you. The renewed strikes on Israel overnight also raising concerns over what Iran's next targets could be. The National News Desk's Kayla Gaskins joining us from Capitol Hill with more on this. Kayla, you know, Iran now reportedly looking at possibly striking U.S. military bases, and the president has also made some moves to prepare for potential strikes. What are you hearing over there?
Yeah, he has, Jan. So the U.S. military has started moving some aircraft and ships from bases in the Middle East that could be vulnerable to an Iranian attack. The U.S. has also issued a security warning for the largest U.S. base in the region in Qatar.
There you have it. Let's see what City Council's what's going over here.
This is Chicago's very own WGN Midday News. Mayor Brandon Johnson promises to veto new changes to the city's curfew rules designed to crack down on those so-called teen takeovers.
It would be the first mayoral veto in about 20 years. WGN's Eric Rung is at City Hall with the latest.
Mayor Johnson has been very vocal about any changes to the
Mayor
city
Brandon
curfew rules. Some of
Johnson
his
is,
allies
running
did
Chicago
support this
raggedy.
measure, but not enough to override a veto. After months of debate, procedural delays, and compromises, 2nd Ward Alderman Brian Hopkins got his vote on giving the police superintendent the power to call for a curfew anywhere in the city at any time with a half-hour notice.
We've seen the videos of the events that inspired this ordinance, and no one here is okay with that. No one here thinks it's perfectly acceptable for large groups of teenagers, some as young as 12, to gather anywhere in the city, downtown or anywhere, and get out of control.
After languishing for months, Hopkins renewed his effort to change the city's curfew rules after 2 teen takeovers in Streeterville earlier this spring turned violent and ended with gunfire, all happening before the current curfew kicked in at 10 p.m. that only covers the city's central business district.
These are children that are wreaking havoc. These are children that are shooting tourists. These are kids that are stomping on cars and twerking on cars.
These are criminal acts. These are not innocent hijinks. These are dangerous, threatening criminal acts, and they're violent.
Rather than criminalizing our young people, we should be doubling down in the investment.
Oh, Jesus, I can already tell why.
To have fun, to build community.
This
to
is
be
why you
among
have
one another.
13-year-olds, fucking 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds stabbing each other, getting into fights, getting into like,
no, we're giving them a tool so that, you know,
theft
because they
and
say you
shit.
can't corral crowds, but this is a tool before the crowd starts that we can shut it down.
In order for us to have safety policies, we have to make sure that we are not providing politicized, knee-jerk reactions that do nothing to solve the fundamental problems of our city.
The mayor promised to veto the measure that passed with 27 votes. 34 votes would have made it veto-proof. Even if supporters are able to lobby more votes, Police Superintendent Larry Snelling said publicly he doesn't intend on using the tool. Critics also say the changes could open up the city to lawsuits.
There are many attorneys and civil organizations that have already articulated to us the constitutional violations they already believe to be in this ordinance.
I reached out to Alderman Hopkins this morning to see if he thought he would be able to get to 34 votes. He said that they were going to try. The earliest that this could come back to the city council would be in July. We're at City Hall. I'm Eric Rung, WGN News.
There you have it. What do we got here? Chicago veterans oppose U.S. involvement in Israel-Iran conflict.
As President Trump mulls over a decision to get involved militarily in Iran, Chicago veterans weigh in on whether it's a good idea or not.
Frank Gutierrez is grateful to be alive. Many of his friends who served with him in the military are not. The Chicagoan served in the Marine Corps and Army Reserves, completing 4 different tours in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Hardest part about actually deploying is coming home.
Gutierrez says the transition back to civilian life takes a big mental toll. Several of his friends who served in the Middle East wars have taken their own lives. Army veteran Marcus Perkins was fortunate not to serve in combat, but he hears the stories of those who did serve in Iraq and Afghanistan when he gets treated at the Jesse Brown VA hospital.
There's been so many things that you hear that sleepless nights, worried about people behind them, just a whole lot of things that mentally just bother them.
As a southern Israel hospital was bombed this morning by a barrage of Iran missiles, President Trump has been in the White House Situation Room deciding if the U.S. should get involved in the war between Iran and Israel.
Suicide rate
the
in
White House says the president will make a
the
decision
world is
within the next
high,
2 weeks.
or well,
Trump
at least
publicly
in
spoke
certain
yesterday
countries because
about
of,
the situation.
I like to make the final decision 1
certain
second
jobs,
before it's due.
career
These things
paths,
change, I mean,
right?
especially with war.
My experience with war is it should never be
Military
made on
service.
a whim. It's a decision that, you know, every American should have a say in, and we do that through, you know, our electoral process.
Gutierrez and Perkins hope Trump takes his time and holds out for a diplomatic solution.
Easy to get in, hard to get out.
Veterans fear nothing will be quick in the Middle East. Iraq and Afghanistan lasted over 20 years, killing thousands of men and women who served and
like
leaving
another
veterans
20
with
years,
lifelong physical and mental injuries.
We're not even meeting the needs of our current veterans. You know, and we don't need to.
I mean, just look at what's happening in Ukraine, Russia.
You know, mental health issues.
And then they're asking, we're starting to help Africa a little bit from time to time.
President Trump will seek the approval of Congress, so the toll of war can be discussed as well as an exit plan.
You have it. This is what you got to do when playing president. You got to juggle a lot of fucking nations.
Decide in the next 2 weeks if the U.S. will get involved in the escalating tensions between Iran and Israel. This comes as Iranian missiles slammed into the main hospital in southern Israel today, causing extensive damage. Fox's Mike Tobin reports from Ranwat Gan, Israel.
Sound was huge.
Huge. I never heard such a sound.
The IDF remains on high alert following a direct hit from an Iranian missile attack on the main hospital in southern Israel. It happened in the city of Beersheba. The missiles damaged the hospital and other residential buildings nearby, injuring more than 200 civilians.
I heard the big boom. My ears was like bombing. The door of the shelter was open. The dog ran away. And we were in fear.
The attack prompted a new direct threat against Iran's supreme leader from top Israeli officials.
The IDF has been instructed and knows that in order to
yeah,
achieve
apparently
all of its goals,
they
were
supposed to have a surprise or something. I don't know what happened with that surprise. I guess this was the surprise.
Israel hit Iran's
Surprise! We hit a hospital.
It continues targeting the country's nuclear program. Diplomats from the West are now scrambling to get a ceasefire in place.
Surprise! We meant to hit the military installation that was around that area.
To meet with his European counterparts in Geneva on Friday, but it won't be easy. Iran isn't showing any signs it's willing to give up its nuclear program, meaning the airstrikes aren't likely to stop anytime soon.
Israel wants Iran to fully renounce its nuclear program, including the peaceful dimensions of its nuclear program. And that is something that Iran is not likely to do.
A senior U.S. official tells Fox News President Trump has been asking his advisors if that bunker-busting bomb would be effective at destroying Iran's underground nuclear capabilities.
Well, I mean, the issue is I don't think anybody wants to go in, right? Because if you wanted to make sure that everything was destroyed, yeah, you'd have to like investigate, make sure everything's all said and done.
In March, Ukraine bought more than 4 million drones.
But yeah, nobody wants to go in, right? No one wants boots on the ground to
$24 billion this year.
Right, not even the Israelis
are even doing
military
defense part, security part has been growing in impact.
Because they know how dangerous it is going into a foreign fucking
that
country.
Things are really starting developing now. Regulations are slowly becoming more, you can say, cooperative for the industry. And I think also that also history shows that there will be learnings from across military to civilian commercial use.
Denmark has also announced it'll open a new military drone test center to catch up with other European countries.
There you have it. What is this? Oh, that's Sky News. You can watch that. Sky News Australia. Australia News Network. We have a Nevada one.
Perhaps you saw our 2 News Nevada TikTok about this story. President Trump has signed an executive order to once again extend the TikTok ban.
Oh, this is the TikTok.
Some people dancing with joy when it comes to this. Others not so much. The order will keep TikTok running in the U.S. for another 90 days. The Trump administration says this will give them more time to broker a deal to bring the social media platform under American ownership.
They want us they want to give more time for the deal, right? Putin says he doesn't want to discuss possible Israeli-US killing of Iran's
answer to your question. I do not wish to even discuss such a possibility. Once we offered to our Iranian friends to work together in the sphere of the air defense systems. The partners did not show much interest then, and that is it. The Strategic Partnership Treaty which you have mentioned does not include any clause linked with defense area. This is number 2. And the third, our Iranian friends have not asked us about this, so there is nothing to discuss.
They said Iran has not contacted them in any form or fashion. They said they're doing this on their own. Watch that way. Watch that way. What is this?
Caroline, thank you. So
oh yeah, this one.
Rhino warmonger Lindsey Graham, he recently called on the U.S. to go all in.
That's quite the lead to a question.
Yeah, jeez.
What's your message to everyday Trump supporters? Not the Tucker Carlsons or other big names, but everyday Trump supporters, grassroots who voted for President Trump to stop the wars, rejected this in the primary, going into another war.
I mean, just look at what's.
And they want to see non-U.S. involvement in this war. What's your message?
Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term as president in implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda. And with respect to Iran, nobody should be surprised by the president's position that Iran absolutely cannot obtain a nuclear weapon. He's been unequivocally clear about this for decades, not just as president, not just as a presidential candidate, but also as a private citizen. In fact, I have some quotes for you. In 2011, President Trump said, "America's primary goal with Iran must be to destroy its nuclear ambitions. We cannot allow this radical regime to acquire a nuclear weapon that they will either use or hand off to terrorists." In 2015, the president said, "The problem is that Iran poses an existential threat to Israel, our Middle Eastern allies, and the United States." And of course, the president has repeated that in his first term as president and his second term as president as well. That's why he was adamantly opposed to the disastrous Iranian nuclear agreement that was implemented by President Obama. And it's why he has given great latitude and given a lot of effort to achieving a diplomatic solution. But he's been very clear. Iran went for 60 days when he gave them that 60-day warning without coming to the table. On day 61, Israel took action against Iran. And as I just told you from the president directly, he will make a decision within 2 weeks.
A follow-up?
Sure. Go ahead, Natalie. Thanks, Caroline.
There you have it. Oh yeah, and then this is, yeah. We already seen this one. You can check back in the...
Good afternoon, everyone. I have a message directly from the president, and I quote,
I mean, we can just...
"Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today.
Thanks, Caroline. What exactly would a deal with Iran need to entail?
No enrichment of uranium, and it would absolutely not. Iran is not absolutely not able to achieve a nuclear weapon. The president has been very clear about that. And by the way, the deal that Special Envoy Witkoff proposed to the Iranians was both realistic and acceptable within its terms, and that's why the president is sent that deal to them. It is a fact, and the United States government maintains this fact, that Iran has never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon.
And then if the U.S. were to take some type of military action, would the president go to Congress to seek war authority?
I'm not going to engage in hypotheticals. I gave you the statement from the president.
Yeah, I saw there's been a lot of news networks that have been engaging in hypotheticals and shit, and it's just like, I understand what you guys are doing, but it's at the same time, I don't think he's gonna fucking do it. These situations are so fucking complex. Not only that, but also it comes down to a decision of, right, it's fucking killing tons of people, possibly. Yeah, it's not a fucking easy decision to take lightly. And then, right, as more time passes, right, you're allowing them to regroup and restabilize their, right, offenses and defenses. So you're playing against a fucking time bomb, right? You're playing against the the clock. You have the clock is ticking. You got choices to make, and they got to be made. What is this? Okay, let's watch one of these. We've seen a lot of news stuff. Let's see what memeology's got. What's he memeing on? Oh, Jamie Ratskin. Uh-oh, the rat is out. Fellow rats, here is one of your leaders.
Donald Trump could organize rallies and marches like that across the country. So there was definitely something thrilling about the moment. And for me, returning to first principles, because Philadelphia, of course, is where it all started with the Declaration and the Constitution. And, you know, the first three words of the Constitution refute everything Donald Trump's been trying to do. We, the people, we don't have kings here. We don't have monarchs and queens and dictators. And we don't, you know, allow our presidents to engage in financial relationships with governments all over the world. That's right in the Constitution, the ban on foreign government emoluments, the ban on titles of nobility. So, you know, I said none of us will ever get to be founding fathers in the 18th century, but we can be founding fighters in the 21st.
Yeah, that means going to the U.S. Army and serving your country. That's what that means, I think. Pretty sure.
I'm out of breath.
I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
I'm actually out of breath.
Yeah, what a fucking weirdo. Oh, there you have it.
TikTok will receive another 90-day reprieve after Donald Trump signed an executive order on Thursday. The US president granted the platform a third extension to allow more time to strike a deal with its Chinese owners ByteDance. The White House says it is seeking to ensure an agreement is made so the app's users can be assured their data is secure.
Secure the data. Secure privileges.
JD Vance has been brutally suspended after creating an account on left-wing social media platform Blue Sky. The bizarre series of events happened when US Vice President JD Vance created an account on Blue Sky, very pleasantly saying, "Hello, Blue Sky. I've been told this app has become the place for common sense political discussion and analysis. So I'm thrilled to be here engaging with all of you."
Right there. Also, there's so many people that use so many different social media sites. It's like the distribution of people is so
receiving
fucking
substantial
all over the
resources
place.
from Big Pharma to push these medicines on kids.
Everything's fragmented.
What do you think? And a mere 12 minutes after hitting post, Vance's account appeared to be blocked. Commentator Benny Johnson exposed this, saying Vice President JD Vance was banned on Blue Sky literally seconds after joining the platform. Online commentators were up in arms about the ban, with this person saying, "Leftist echo chamber, nobody else need apply." This person agreed, saying they really are that afraid. Whatever happened to free speech? And even Liberal commentator Billy Binion criticised the ban, saying, "I can't stand JD Vance, but suspending the sitting vice president is exactly why Blue Sky is unserious and doomed to fail.
What happened to your free speech?
If you claim to care about real debate, you can't wall yourself off from everyone outside the progressive bubble, especially someone who might be president one day." Blue Sky then reinstated the account, telling Fox News Vance's real account was mistaken for an imposter. The company said, "We welcome the Vice President to the conversation on Blue Sky. There have been many past attempts to impersonate Vice President JD Vance on Blue Sky, as he is a public figure, and the JD Vance social account was flagged as part of that pattern by our automated systems and temporarily suspended." Blue Sky added, "The account was quickly reinstated within 20 minutes of the suspension, and we've also added a verified badge to help users confirm the authenticity of the profile." But despite
honestly, everyone's
the account,
just
Blue
trying
Sky
to emulate
users
each other.
made
I mean, that's not. Is that not why these fucking social media platforms keep popping
Online
up?
commentators
They're trying
found the
to emulate
backlash
each other's
hilarious, with
platforms.
this person saying, Just in, JD Vance has been blocked by nearly 15,000 people and growing on Blue Sky, just a couple of hours after creating his account. The amount of people who have blocked him is more than 7 times the amount of followers he has there. And in a desperate move by one of the haters, commentator David Leavitt recorded a tutorial on how to block JD Vance on the platform.
Party time as Karen Reed celebrates her not guilty verdict at a Boston restaurant.
Yeah, she got her verdict.
I'm happy.
She's not guilty on basically the heinous stuff.
I fought for John O'Keefe.
But she got on
Her
being
father
drunk.
was euphoric.
That's all.
We're happy.
Literally, she got DUI.
We're also hearing for the first time from one of the jurors.
I don't really know if there was a cover-up
She
or not.
a drunk bitch, that's all.
I know that's the big conspiracy about it, but I don't really know. All I know is that there was a lot of holes in the investigation.
Reed was accused of mowing down her boyfriend, Boston cop John O'Keefe, in her SUV.
It's hard to prove that the collision happened, so it's hard to come to a guilty verdict.
He also told TMZ that the jurors were aware
Also,
of the daily show of support
it seems like the state in that case
honestly
screwed
that
up
made the pressure a lot
royally.
harder.
Like, they fucked up at every fucking turn.
Thousands celebrated outside court. Many more watched the drama unfold in homes and offices across America.
Yeah, she got not guilty.
Not everyone is celebrating
yeah, there's a lot
today.
of people
9
celebrating.
prosecution witnesses issued a joint statement condemning the verdict. This prosecution was infected by lies and conspiracy theories. The result is a devastating miscarriage of justice.
Well, I
Ronald
mean, because there's
DeSantis
one
was a
person
juror
who's
on Reed's first trial, which ended in
dead.
deadlock. Do you believe justice has been done?
I believe justice has been done with regards to Miss Reed. I think we still have a mystery
we still have a
regarding
mystery
the death
for
of Mr. O'Keefe.
Someone's still dead. Still trying to figure out how he died. Oh, there you have it. All right, let's see what we got for this meme.
And what this book does is we approach things in a light way because we understand this is a man who wears apricot makeup with
oh shit, whoops. I'm sorry, what?
With his hair twirled around his head, who wears apricot makeup with his hair twirled around his head like Barbara Stanwyck in Ball of Fire.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Is this a
we
drag queen?
Can beat. Robbie figured that out 5 years ago. Here, I was so close. Ben, I was so close. If I went this far and reached back, I could have him by the hair. I heard almost every single thing he said. Robbie had to stand up and object to Judge Kaplan, saying, Your Honor, if we can hear him, what does the jury think? And by the way, Ben, when you looked at the jury, they were like stunned by the moaning and his groaning and his weeping and his snarling and his, he was very cruel to Alina Habba, Esquire, really treated her terribly. I don't know how she carried on, but we were there, we saw everything. The farting,
talking a lot.
You wanted to know about that?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, what is yeah, what the fuck
It
is
was
she
a silent one. It was a silent one, sort of.
How did you say all that in one breath?
Yo, what the fuck is that? I'm confused. I think she was talking about Trump. What I got? Man, I didn't know. Memeology keeps putting out a lot of stuff about politicians. I don't know why.
Do you feel safe as an elected official in this
Oh, it's the
political
View.
climate?
Never mind.
No.
Oh no,
Not
it's
at all. I mean,
well, she's
here's
on
the
the
deal. I do this job and
and the fact that my safety is a part of doing this job is really bad in and of itself. But while we spend millions upon millions just so that this guy can go and golf, or while they spent $45 million for his little birthday parade, you know, like, I'm just saying, can we reprioritize some of those dollars? When they killed our continuing
maybe you
resolution
should
this last
reprioritize
time,
what you're doing
one of the
with
things
Texas,
they didn't take out is that they
you know,
had
with
included an
some of
additional, I
your
believe,
other
$10 million
states
to
and,
protect
what you're doing with your
non-justices.
federal
I'm like, listen, I'm not even
funding
asking for $1 million,
you know,
but
your
can we get
weird
something? Because we have
USAID
nothing.
bullshit.
The only
you know?
people in the House that have protection, you get protection based upon your leadership post. That's it. Those are the only
What do you
ones.
mean?
And so when you
all
figure
can
out
buy
security, you have
bodyguards.
to
What the
hopefully
fuck are
raise
you all
enough
talking
money
about? You're
to
rich
then
enough
be
to
able
buy
to pay for security
bodyguards.
yourself. This is a problem, especially in light of the environment. And so I did text a Republican that I consider to be a friend. Yes, I have Republican friends, just so y'all know. I did, and I said, listen, your people need to fix this. Like, I'm tired, right? And there are Republicans that are concerned. And to be clear, they're not really concerned about the radical leftists that they talk about. They're concerned about MAGA.
That's bullshit.
Because we saw the same thing happen when we had the
Are you
speaker
talking about
election,
the
right?
rhinos?
And so when people were mad
Like
about them
McConnell
not voting for Jim Jordan,
and Graham?
they started threatening their spouses and all kinds of stuff. And another thing that they're not talking about that really ticks me off, because I just learned about it in the midst of what happened, is that someone has been sending pizzas to members' homes, and they've not done anything. So I'm just like, you know, like, we still have a role to play. I get that nobody really likes the Congress.
Pizzas?
But I mean, we still are duly
want a free
elected and we're a
pizza.
co-equal branch of government, but we always seem like we're the stepchild.
People are getting free pizzas.
No. What happened? Oh no, how terrible. That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no.
Yeah, I guess she's mad she didn't get a free pizza. Oh, that's unfortunate. Sucks. All right, what do we got here? Jamie says he has the rest of Trump's opposition can be found fighters in the 21st century.
There's no way Donald Trump could organize.
Oh, I think we already saw this one. I think so. Oh yeah, what the fuck? Did I accidentally bring it up?
Trump derangement syndrome. Hatred of Donald Trump so intense that it impairs people's judgment.
So, Stuart, while Obama is sounding the alarm about democracy, the New York Times reports that the DNC is in chaos, that they're desperate for cash. They say Obama is headlining a DNC fundraiser next month at the home of New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. Is this a sign of the state of the Democratic Party? The top messenger and fundraiser is somebody who hasn't been in office for nearly a decade.
Yeah, you know, I think the biggest problem with the Democratic Party is they ought to shut up about the Democratic Party. I mean, I really don't understand this. They're like a bunch of doctors. They have a patient walk into the emergency room with a nail in his head, and they're having a focus group about why the guy has a headache. Look, you have the most dangerous president that has existed certainly since the Civil War. And we have a situation here where it's obvious what they should do. They should wake up every day and attack Trump and attack Trumpism. They should wake up every day and attack Trump. Attack Trump.
If you're telling Mitt Romney to go fight your wars or McConnell to go fight your wars, yeah, right. There's a sponge.
Trump sweeping all 7 battleground states.
And you ain't black.
The total number of electoral college votes to 312, the most won by a GOP presidential candidate since 1988. That was before I graduated from high school.
TDS.
Does anyone know what TDS is? Correct. Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh, right. Got him. Alright, and then let's see what's going on with noxious YouTube clown world.
Buy a house.
I don't like clowns.
Was it man nabbed for Bronx rape allegedly? What? That she deserved it for slavery? What the fuck? I hate slavery so much. I wish America never even imported slaves in this country. What would this country look like without that great evil? White people prefer white people on dating apps, but that could be changed. Study says, what? What's going on?
You want to see something really scary? You bet.
No.
Really? Yeah. Okay, this is really, really scary now.
The only thing evil to modern leftist women is the standing up to the evil and straight white men. The modern leftist women, nothing else is evil. Criminals need to be coddled. Terrorists need to be coddled. Men can be women and women can be men. Pornographic books should be allowed in elementary school. Sexually explicit gay pride parades should be held in front of children, and they should have stories read to them by men dressed as women. Sexual promiscuity is empowering. If they get pregnant, they have the right to murder their children, so they do not have to be accountable for being promiscuous. Give all high-level jobs to women just because they are women. In every divorce that they initiate, they should get 50% or more of the ex-husband's assets, plus alimony and child support. Their money is their money, and men's money is their money too.
Evil. From her iPhone while sipping Starbucks, on an airplane, with Wi-Fi, while watching TV. She drinks oat milk because regular milk makes her feel colonial.
Colonial.
She got 8 COVID shots, still caught it, and blamed the
colonizers.
unvaccinated waiter.
Bunch of colonizers.
With an O-O?
She has a Ukraine flag in her bio. She thinks Ukraine is a clothing brand. She says Black Lives Matter, but still clutches her bag in certain neighborhoods. She thinks all cops are bad, then called the cops because someone wasn't wearing a mask.
Yeah.
She says she's a feminist until she needs a jar opened. She says, trust the science, but thinks there's more than 2 genders. She drinks ayahuasca for trauma she invented last year. She says she hates capitalism, but charges $499 for Zoom breathwork. She posts about toxic masculinity from her ex's apartment.
He told me that I was ugly and fat and that I was...
Who would do such stupidity?
I don't know!
I don't know!
What's his name?
I don't know his name!
Oh my...
Is that your real hair?
It's such a real hair!
You just said that.
Who just said that?
You just said that.
It's just... Fuck yeah!
If you're homeless, just
fucking hell, dude. Holy shit, fucking got her.
Such stupidity.
I don't know!
What's his name? What's his name?
I don't know his name!
Oh my...
Is that your real hair? You just said that.
Jesus, and all the guys are fun. They couldn't hold it in after that. He's just like, okay,
if you're homeless,
all right. You
just buy a house.
If you save the dollar,
yes,
a day
just
for
buy
year,
a
do you know how much
house.
money you have? Roughly
Yes. Buy a
$30,000.
house.
If you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, what am I gonna eat for dinner? Like that's the wrong mindset. You should be thinking, how can I buy this restaurant?
How can I buy
I
this
don't need a man to fix my car. I'll just go to the mechanic.
You know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yes.
If NASA says it's too hot to go to the sun, then why don't we go at night when the sun turns off?
I will give it to the chat that said I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm f***ing crazy, and I don't give a f***. How about that?
And dumb.
I'm not dumb. I'm definitely not dumb.
Are you sure?
I'm a 138 IQ. I'm not dumb.
You don't have 138
I do have
IQ.
130.
You can't count to 138.
What's your favorite position?
So let's say you're lying on your back, and then like your legs are out like this.
Here's the father. Oh shit.
Right? Look. Now there's this box right there. Okay. Open it up. Open it up. You know? What is this? Open it up and read it out loud to your family.
Open it up. Open it up. And read it out loud to your family. Oh, it's a paternity test.
She was gonna tell him she's just not ready.
What'd you catch? What'd you catch?
Chlamydia.
Heard you want a taste of chase, like a dog on a tree.
Oh god. Oh god, that's like that uncanny valley. She put a bunch of makeup on, or there's filter. She looks like one of those pinup dolls, right?
You understand why guys would have a problem with a woman with a high body count, though?
I think it's insecurity. Do they really want to have a woman that is just a virgin?
Oh, sorry.
Because she's not gonna be good, and she's gonna have no experience.
They don't need you to be good, though.
That's so boring. Isn't that
It's not
boring? It's like you haven't been to it enough, that's why I like you. I think that's crazy. I don't know.
I think this bitch is crazy. Fuck, is she out of her mind? What the fuck?
I don't, that doesn't make sense to me.
She has a high body count. That's why she's pushing back.
They don't find it unattractive that a woman would have inexperience because they feel like, you know, what's going to make that experience in the bedroom so powerful is not that she can bounce off the walls or knows all these tricks or knows all these sexual things and look, she's doing something like out of a porno. Then what's appealing is that she's really excited to be there for him.
Oh god,
she's
I hope
present,
people don't
she's
do that
loyal,
kind of
she's
shit.
committed.
Yeah, no, don't
and
do that.
He doesn't need her to be an acrobat.
Yeah,
He
no,
just needs her to be loyal.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
Today, it's a brand new used car. Huge mileage.
Yeah, I do have to tell you guys, yeah, in the pornos, they do use drugs some. They use something called Viagra.
There's not a huge aftermarket for used sex dolls.
Why is female empowerment all about liberation and choice, while men's empowerment is all about masculinity, duty, and sacrifice, which is actually the opposite of liberation and choice?
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. Move! Fall back, fall back, fall back.
Dude, he just threw something at that person.
He's coming.
He's coming back.
Get back in your car. No, you did, man. It wasn't nobody. Get in your car. What do you mean it was nobody? It was, get in your car. Look at all these people right here. Get in your car. No, man. Go home. Man, what you did? No one did it. Go in your car.
No one did it. Go in your car. After they fucking assaulted him.
Look at all these people. So
yeah,
what?
they fucking threw a fucking.
I know, it sucks. Go home. What do you mean it sucks? Stop.
This guy's unfazed.
What's the front? What they did, man? I don't know who did that. I know who did it. All right.
And now the cops are.
Out, street, out. Get out. Get out of the street. Out of the street. Get out of the street.
Threw something at his car, damaged it, and then run and hide behind a group of people. I mean, what a coward. And then the police show up, and it's like they're protecting the people out here doing dumb stuff.
Pretty much. I mean, they're trying to make sure no one's gonna get fucking killed.
Doing nothing.
If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County,
gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave.
But
In
yeah,
our
since
county,
the
you're
cop
most likely
didn't
gonna
see
get
it,
run
like,
over.
well, the cop might have saw it, or what? Oh no, not the. Oh,
also
damn,
have a
you played this
policy
one.
that if you're driving on one of those streets and a
Yeah,
mob
she
comes
got-
and surrounds your
yeah,
vehicle
she got
and
ran
threatens
over.
you, you have a right to flee
Yeah,
for
don't
your
be in the
safety.
street like
And
that.
so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you.
Yeah,
You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida.
No shit. No shit.
Stupid. Oh, that
No
dude got
shit.
fucking dragged. Oh yeah, ran them. Yeah, yep. Oh yeah, ran him over downtown in
Stupid.
Riverside. Yeah, I think I saw that
Stupid.
video.
Stupid.
Oh, there was another different
stupid,
camera
stupid,
view.
stupid plan.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if
Yeah,
it pays
so
off
for
them.
whatever reason, they decided to jump in front of the car, and then they got ran over.
This was 100% their fault.
Stop fucking around.
Oh, yeah, there it goes again.
Not a good idea.
Oh, here's another Hank. Oh shit, here goes. Oh! Yeah, I got twice. Got hit twice. On both legs, I think. Yeah, both legs. Oh, yep. Oh, the shins, dude. The shins, dude.
She found out, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, she fucked around and found out. Oh, no, you need to get her to a hospital.
She's okay.
Also,
Look,
she shouldn't be on her feet like that. You need to, like, move her. Because her legs, like... Her legs are screaming. Alright, there you have it. Noxious YouTube. That was the clown world. Alright, and yeah, that's gonna do it for that news cap and memes. You know the drill. Give a like, subscribe if you like the channel and the news. Much appreciated. Have a good one.